First of all, hello, Ramesh sir. Hi, Pragg.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a chess coach at HobSpace. And obviously because of that, I've been following both of your games and basically everything and looking up to everything that you've been doing for the country. I'm a huge fan, to be honest. And yeah, I'm very, very glad to be here in this conversation with both of you. So I would like to welcome and thank Ramesh sir and Pragg. Thank you so much for taking out time and to be with us here today.
It's our honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Pragg, as a young child, one is exposed to many things like football or dancing or music. So I would like to know, like, how did you get exposed to chess and how did you start playing chess?
It's because of my sister. My sister is also a national master. Her name is Vaishali, Indian woman number 3. And so she started to play chess at home first, and then because she was watching television, and then my parents wanted to distract her from television and put her into chess and drawing, and that's how she started. And then yeah, she was playing at home. So yeah, my parents also bought me a chessboard, so that's how it started.
So she started playing chess before you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And RB sir, when you first met Pragg, what were your initial thoughts? Like, what did you see in Pragg that made you want to coach him?
When I started working with Pragg, he was around 7.5 or 8 years old, and now he's going to be almost 17. So probably around 8.5 to 9 years I've been working with him. Right. And when I first met him, he was already a reasonably strong player. I believe he was national under-8 champion,
right?
Probably world under-8 champion.
Yeah.
And also her sister Vaishali, she was world under-12 champion back then. So they both were reasonably good for their age. And I met them in a function, in an award-giving ceremony. And their father approached me to see if I'll be interested to work with them. And that's how it all started. And back then, when I started working, it was obvious from the beginning that both the players were extremely talented. And in general, finding talent is not so tough these days because our population is huge and there are many children with good talent. But what I would say is special about both Pragg and Vaishali is that they both are very down to earth and also very simple personalities, not complicated. And also they both were very clear that to achieve success, we need to work very hard. But this is a very special quality, I would say, because most of the children I work with, they all want to be successful, but they don't want to invest the time and effort. And the other thing very special to Pragg, I would say, is his willingness to handle difficult moments. So he understands that not everything is going to be smooth and easy. There will be many tough moments along the way, and he was ready to face all of them. And he was also very open to my philosophy of how to approach chess and philosophy about learning. I think this is very important because I generally suggest a very long-term approach, and sometimes we don't focus too much on the happenings that is happening now, and we try to take a long-term view. For example, when we lose games, we don't immediately get worked about it, get too upset and think like maybe everything is going wrong. Because I've seen many players and coaches take this kind of an approach. Whenever a player loses, they all get very worked up and they panic. So we try not to panic and try to see like what we can learn from this experience and grow even stronger. So we try to see everything as an experience, and we want eventually to be successful. So that's our approach, and Pragg is able to accept and apply this philosophy.
Wow, that's very inspiring, and it can be like very evidently seen in Pragg's games. Everything that you just said, as a chess player, it makes complete sense to me. So, Pragg, first of all, congratulations that you have become a sensation for the youth now for this country. And I would just like to know, like, how do you feel, being in the same class of players like Magnus Carlsen and the topmost players? So, like, how does all the attention and all the eyes feel?
Yeah, I think all this attention are good for the game, and sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, it's good for the game, and I'm very happy to see that so many people in India started to follow chess,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy that I could also contribute to it. And in general, yeah, I'm happy to play all these players, like Magnus and Dingliran and everyone. I think this online event, Meltwater, has been a huge opportunity for me, and I'm I'm able to play all these players every month, so that's a huge learning experience, and as well as I can beat some of these top players, which gives me confidence. And yeah, I think this wins really gives a lot of confidence, and I'm really looking forward to play a lot of over the board events to get my rating up. That's my next thing.
Definitely, Pragg. We have a lot of hopes, and we are pretty sure that those are going to be fulfilled in near or later future. So, RB Ramesh, sir, your journey with chess has always been watched very closely by people. So it's like whether you're playing, coaching, mentoring, or writing books, or even streaming. So I want to know, how did you start playing chess? Like something about your chess journey.
Yeah, so I was playing cricket. I was learning cricket. I went to a cricket coaching academy, YMCA, when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my heart was initially. And in one of my training sessions, I got severely injured in my head. So after that, I decided not to take the risk anymore. I quit playing, quit going for cricket training. And within a few months, I read in the newspaper that Vishwanathan Anand had become India's first chess grandmaster.
Yeah.
And I was very inspired that an Indian can achieve something at international sports other than cricket. So I was very happy, and I wanted to emulate him. So Vishwanathan Anand is the reason why I came into chess. And after that, initially I got successful, but I was already like 12 years old at the time. And Praggnanandhaa became a grandmaster at the age of 12. So you can understand that I was a bit late. But I was also able to get some good results right away. I won the national under 18 championship twice when I was, I think, 14 years old or 15 years old, something like that. So
Wow.
I won the nationals twice, and that gave me a lot of confidence. And I also started working very hard. Back then, there were no computers, so we are usually working with books mostly, and also playing in tournaments. So these were the two avenues open to us to learn the game. And when I was a player, I understood that there were many questions for which I had no correct answers. And I did not know what mistakes I was making as a player, and which areas I need to work. So, and if I had a problem, what should be the solution? So there was no strong chess culture back then in India. Only very few players were there playing at a reasonably good level. Most players were not at a high level. So I felt there was a big need for proper guidance to players. So this was always at the back of my heart. And in 1998, 10 years after I came to chess, when I was 22 years old, I got an opportunity from ASCF to go as coach for the Asian Junior Championship held at Iran. And when I don't know why they chose me, because I was only 22 years old and the team was supposed to be for players below 20 years. So I'm almost their age. But I accepted and went, and both in boys and girls, we won a gold medal, but not because of my training, but it just gave me, it was nice feeling. And I thought maybe I should look at this more seriously. And immediately upon my return from Iran, Aarthie Ramaswamy's parents, they approached me to work with her, and she was my first student. And in the very next year, she won World Under-18 Championship in 1999. So that gave a lot of confidence to me as a trainer, and more players started approaching me to work with them. And then I started working with many players, and almost 9 out of 10, their rating started improving very quickly within like 6 months or so. They went from one level to another level, and that gave me even more confidence to become less of a player and more of a coach. So this was a gradual transition. And in 2008, I quit playing chess completely, and I was working with Indian Oil Corporation back then as a deputy manager. I resigned my job as well and started Chess Academy in Chennai. So from then on, last 14 years, I've been a full-time trainer, and really happy for the decision I've taken.
Yes, I mean, like that's like you are definitely one of the greatest coach we have in the country, and you have produced so many young, bright talents, Praggnanandhaa being one of them. So, Praggnanandhaa, I want to ask you, like, India is hosting the 44th Chess Olympiad, right? And we are already witnessing so much excitement about the same. So, like, how are you preparing for the upcoming Olympiad? What does your routine look like before and during the Olympiad?
Yeah, we just had a training camp with the team in Chennai. Ramesh sir was the coach there as well. And he's the coach of my team, the B team. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the event. It's my first Olympiad, and I'm very excited and proud that it's taking place in Chennai.
Right.
First of all, in India, it's a big thing, and secondly, in Chennai, my hometown, I was just double happy, you can say. And yeah, I think the routine part, nowadays it's kind of hard to have a routine like before the event. I think during the event, it's actually same as before, but before the event, because there are a lot of these online events where we have to be awake till night, and then it's not easy to fix the routine because the tournament will end in a week, and then okay, you have to get back to the old routine, and so it's always back and forth, and also I'll be playing a tournament before Olympiad, so yeah, I haven't fixed the routine, so I think during the event there'll be a good routine.
I see. We really hope that this Chess Olympiad, and it is a very big thing for the country that we are getting to host it. We are all delighted and excited, and pretty sure with players like you and the teams that we have, the Indian team, we are hoping to top the charts once again, like last year. I mean, like the previous Chess Olympiad. So, Ramesh sir, the upcoming Olympiad is going to have chess players from all over the world, right? So how do you generally, like prepare players like Pragg for competitions like this? Like what are the things that a chess player should keep in mind for playing a chess Olympiad like a pro?
Okay. Preparation for an individual event and preparation for a team event, one is could be slightly different. And also preparation for for example, like if I'm going to be only Pragg's coach during an individual event or during a team event, the preparation could be slightly different. And being a coach for the whole team is also a different experience. And I've been with the Indian team for the last 4 or 5 Olympiads, so some experience in that. What I have learned in my experience as a coach in team events is, first thing, the players are all very individualistic. They have their own preferences, styles, approach to the game, and also preparation, and also their ethics during the game. So it's very important that all the players are on friendly terms with each other and with the coach. I think the relationship between the players and the coach is the first critical thing. what I have seen, even with other teams when I travel with the Olympiad, but there will always some friction that will come up either between the coach and the players or among the players themselves. And it happens very often that within a team, there will be many small teams, like two players, they will form small teams.
Right.
And this can also have some impact on the overall performance of the team, because if suddenly one group is playing to keep their interests safe, it won't be good for the whole team. So one of my responsibilities will be to keep all the players on friendly terms among themselves and also with me. And that is throughout the event. That is one. Second critical thing in a team event is to retain all the players till the end of the event. Unlike physical sports, there is no danger of physical injury and people rolling themselves out. But what can happen in a team event, like in chess, is let's say if a player is not playing well in the first half of the tournament and they lose confidence, and if there are very negative or critical comments coming from other players or from the coach, and this has happened a lot. I've seen even when I was a player, when a player is not doing well, some other players may pass very negative rude comments, or the coach can be very critical. In such situation, the player will lose confidence and they will lose the motivation to come back to form in the tournament. So that is also very important. I think all the players should be mentally and emotionally available and in good frame of mind and good confidence till the end of the tournament. And many times the last 2-3 rounds will decide the medal prospects of the top teams. So especially towards the end, everyone should be very friendly, working as a unit, something like a close family, trusting each other and in good form. And if we are able to maintain that kind of emotional strength till the end, we will have very good chances. So I think the role of a coach in a team event, especially for players like this, because the players themselves are very strong already, they don't have much to learn like during the tournament. So my role will be to keep them together, happy, emotionally charged up and willing to fight till the end. And regarding the technical things like openings which they need to play, all this, and who to play, whom to rest, all these decisions we will take with a team discussion before every round.
That's beautiful. So like psychology, the atmosphere of the team, everything plays a equally important role.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very insightful, RB sir. Pragg, I would like to know, whom are you the most excited to play against in the Chess Olympiad?
It's not any particular player, because it's not likely, because let's say if I want to play Magnus Carlsen, first of all we should be at the same board, same board order, and also get the pairing, and also he shouldn't be resting, or no, I shouldn't be resting. So it's hard to say a player which is likely to play. And also I think overall I would say I'm looking forward to play against the US team. If we get a chance, it would be amazing, because in all the boards there is 2750 plus, so
yes,
it's a tough team, and it's fun to play tough teams, also strong players.
Of course, that's very much like you, Pragg. You want to play the stronger players. That's very inspiring. So Pragg, there are a number of aspiring young chess players across the globe, right? What are the 3 things that you think they should follow to become better chess players?
I don't think there is only 3 things to follow. There are a lot more to do, and I'm also in the stage where I'm learning. And if I have to say 3 things, I think first is to enjoy the game, not to really run after the results or achieving things. I think first, have fun with the game, and then go about it. And second thing is to put all your effort, all your best effort, and also in the preparation,
Mm-hmm.
also while playing the game. And it's a hard thing to do, but if you can do it, it's a great thing, I think.
Right. Right.
And third thing, I don't know.
How about handling results?
Yeah, like there are a lot of things like handling results also, like not to get too upset while losing, and also not get too excited about winning a game. I think it's just a game. Even after I bet Magnus Carlsen, okay, it's just a game. There are lot of things to improve on, and also it was just a rapid game. I was happy to see so much attention. As I said, it's good for the game, but for me, my focus is on playing good chess and improving my game.
That's beautiful. So RB, so you began playing chess while you were very young, right? A lot of parents today are not very sure that if the kids can start learning chess in their early years or not. So in your opinion, should young children learn chess? What would be the right age to start learning according to you? Because I've heard that Praggnanandhaa has, he knew the rules when he was 2.5 or 3. Is that right, Pragg?
Yeah, it's right. Around 3.
Yeah. Yeah, which is very surprising to me. I mean, according in my personal opinion, it's very rare. So based on that, sir, what do you think is the correct age, you know?
Yeah, so there are two aspects to the question. One is just learning the game. And here there are no hard and fast rules. In Russia, they believe age of 4 is right time to learn the game. But I wouldn't really want to put a number here because every child is different. Every child is unique. So, and who is teaching, in what environment the child is being introduced to the game, and the child's mental setup, a lot of things matter. So I would personally feel just to get introduced to the game, learn the basics, probably 4 to 6 will be the right time.
Right.
And some children will be able to sit and learn, some children will not be able to do that. So probably between 4 to 6 could be ideal age to learn the basics. And the next thing is, if they want to take it up a little more seriously, they want to go for training. That is a completely different aspect altogether. Just to enjoy the game, we probably don't need much training. But if they want to get better in the game, make improvement, and also give it a shot to take it up more seriously later, then probably the formal training could start probably around 6. If the child can go to an academy or a coach, and get trained, probably around 6 will be ideal in my view. And generally what happens is by the time the child comes to 10th grade, and most of the parents, if they feel the child has not achieved much in the chess, they probably would shift them to academics fully around this point. And also in some cases, when the child goes to the 12th grade, they probably have to take a decision whether they want to focus on studies or on chess. So it will be nice if the player can have some good performance by the time they are in the 9th grade. So, and also like as the child grows, the homework, the burden on the studies will increase higher as the child gets into higher grades. So when we are in the lower grades, we'll have less homework, and the exam results won't matter too much. So it's better to focus more in chess when the child is younger, and that increases the chance of good performance. And if they have sufficient good performance, like in Pragg's case, he has already achieved a lot of things by the time he came to 10th grade. So it was easy for his parents to
believe in them,
take a decision that, okay, chess is going to be the main thing for him.
So one question that I'm very curious about, but it's a follow-up question to what you just said. I heard a super grandmaster once say, that we are living in a time today that it's such a competitive time that if you don't get your grandmaster title by the age of 14, then you're probably not going to make it, or it's going to be very hard. So I want to get a coach's opinion.
No, I don't agree with that. And generally, what I would suggest to the audience is not to take everyone's perspective as their individual opinion and not as some prophecy kind of thing. So whatever I am saying, it does not mean it is the right thing or it is the truth. It is just my personal opinion. So it is very important to retain our own individuality, to retain our own way of looking at things. So whatever anyone shares, it is their personal opinion, just like mine is a personal opinion. That's it, nothing more. But from experience, we gain a lot of wisdom. And so if someone is backing their saying with experience, it would definitely mean a lot. But when you hear someone say, if you don't become a GM by the age of 14, probably like they are not coming from a training background. They are looking at how the current trend is going, and based on that they are passing a comment. So I think if someone becomes a grandmaster by the age of 14, it will be fantastic, but that would require a lot of effort before that. Probably the child should start around 6 and they should be practicing 4 to 6 hours a day. And if that kind of thing happens and the child is very smart and gets a lot of playing and training opportunities, then very good chance they can become a GM by 14. But for most, even like 10 years ago, if someone becomes a grandmaster by the time between 14 to 16 or even 16 to 18, it was considered reasonably good. But I do agree that chess is becoming younger, and with and there are more trainers available now, more coaches available, and the technology is also helping in learning the game faster. So it is possible to become a strong player soon. That is there. But saying like if you don't become a GM by the age of 14, there is nothing much to hope for, I wouldn't agree with that.
No, but I completely agree with you. Like it takes a lot of work to become, get the grandmaster title. I even there was a study which said something in the lines of that. If you have to make an analogy of getting a grandmaster title, how hard it is if you have to compare it to something, they said it's as hard as getting a PhD in something. So that says it all. I mean, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, normally I would consider becoming an IM is like completing post-graduation, and becoming a GM is like getting a PhD, that kind of equivalence. But it's again my personal view.
Subjective, yeah. So, sir, when you hear the word chess, it directly, to a lot of people, it directly implies being super smart. Like, hey, that person plays chess, must be a very smart chap. So they say that smart people play chess. Do you kind of agree with that?
No, I don't think so. Okay, when you play chess, like we exercise lot of mental components. For example, when we are trying to learn, we revise the same. Let's say if you're trying to learn some opening, we revise the same material multiple times. The pattern recognition gets improved. We learn from the past masters. We learn how to concentrate better. We need to memorize things. And so there are many good aspects about our brain that get exercised. So it's like a mental gymnasium. Chess is like a mental gymnasium. So it's a good exercise for our brain and mind. So from that sense, it is very good to build in an individual's personality as well. But I don't think, and I don't even believe that there are smart people who are smart in everything they do. Usually it is like there are a few areas where they are good, and that does not mean they are good in everything they do. So that's very rare. Most of us, we are good at something and not so good at other things.
Right.
I think even playing chess, okay, we are generally, like as I said, some aspects of our brain and mind become very tough and exercised. We are good at it, but that doesn't mean we are smart.
That makes more sense than most of the things I've heard, sir. So, Pragg, the last few tournaments that you played, that you have been playing online, how was your preparation different for online events than, back in the days when you used to play offline, more of offline events? Is it any different?
Yeah, I'm trying to play over the board events as well, because nowadays I think like everyone is playing a lot of over the board events, and I'm also trying to mix it with online events because I got this opportunity to play in the CCT tour, and yeah, it's a great opportunity for me. I think the preparation wise, there are some differences in a way that like it's a rapid game and over the board is an online game. Sorry, it's a classical game. So there are some differences. Also, the time, the time when the game starts, it's also quite different. Because when you play an over the board events, the game starts at 3 p.m. and here the game starts at 10:30 in India. So it's quite different in a way. Like you have to adapt to the time you sleep and wake up and other things as well. So there are different kind of preparation involved in online and over the board, but chess wise, I think mostly they are same.
Right. I understand. So, RB sir, like the Chess Olympiad is just around the corner, right? So, can you suggest like a few tips for all the chess coaches out there on how to nurture and train players before a tournament?
I think before a tournament, there are a few things one need to take care. The first, there are a few things psychological as well and technical. So regarding the psychological aspects, before every tournament, the player should feel that I'm ready for the tournament. Most of the time, what happens, most of the players, they prepare a lot. And even though they prepare a lot, as the tournament comes nearby, they feel very nervous, very tense, and they feel, oh, I haven't seen that, I haven't prepared this, in this area, I've not worked. So they always get the feeling like inadequacy, like I should have done more, I've not done enough, that kind of a feeling. And this also affects their confidence. So I would suggest the players like to make a good plan well in advance, like 15-20 days or even a month before major events, to identify which areas they need to focus more. And by the time we should also realize, like if I'm going to focus on some areas, I will not be able to focus on other areas. So they should accept it before itself, so that at the last moment they don't feel they are missing out on few other areas. And once you identify the areas you need to work and work properly and diligently to get better in those areas, and if you manage to do that, you will feel very confident. Whenever we learn something new and we feel we have grown stronger in some areas in chess, that gives a feeling of good confidence. So ideally, I would suggest like in calculation and concentration, if you are doing well before the tournament, before any major event, it should give us good confidence. And also, if a player has any particular problems, like for example, some players may have a very serious time trouble addiction problem. Every game they play, they get into time trouble and it affects their results. Sometimes they are not calculating well. Some players may not be very good in end games and so on. Or it could be a problem in any particular opening variation, or they have bad results against d4 with the black pieces. So every player will have some unique problems. So if they can identify such problems and start working on them and make significant progress in those areas, that will also give a lot of confidence. So the main thing is, when a player is about to play a tournament, he should feel ready and confident that I'm in good frame of mind. I think I'm going to play well in this tournament. If we can go with this kind of mindset to a tournament, I think chances are they will play well.
Yeah. That's very insightful again, RB sir. So, Pragg, we know that you have been extremely engaged in having conversations and around the chess for the past few months. But we are curious to know, what are your other interests apart from chess? Like, what do you like to do besides playing chess?
Yeah, there are some other interests. Like usually, I watch some comedies, movies, and things like that. And also,
Any favorites, if I may ask?
no, nothing favorite.
Mhm.
Depends on the movies. Like if I'm in mood to watch some comedies, then I like to watch comedies. That's it. Like it's like that. Nothing as favorites. And also, I like to play some sports games, like not like video games, but if there are like also some card games with chess players, because you might not have heard of it, but usually after end of an event, like a lot of people, a lot of chess players play some games and have fun like that. But it's just usually after the end of the event. But I don't do. I don't like. I don't have any specific interest, but it's just mostly it's about chess actually.
I see. Okay. So our HobSpace students have a lot of questions they wanted to ask both of you. So we have put them all together, and it's basically a small rapid fire round that we have for both of you. So no thinking, just the first word that comes to your mind. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. So first is for RB sir. The first person who comes to your mind when you hear the word chess.
Anand.
Pragg, your favorite sport apart from chess?
Cricket.
RB sir, if not a chess player and coach, what would you possibly pick as a career?
Politics.
Pragg, your favorite movie of all time?
KGF.
RB sir, one destination you would love to travel to next?
Japan.
Pragg, describe your playing style in one word.
Resourceful or tricky at times.
RB sir, if you get to this is my personal very interesting question. If you get to go into the past and play a game against any legendary chess players who unfortunately are not with us today, like Tal, Fischer, Morphy, Lasker, anybody, who would it be?
Yeah, Fischer, I think.
Fischer. Yeah. If I have to say three players.
Capablanca, and Alikain, and Fischer.
Same question for you, Pragg.
I guess Fischer would be one. Tall maybe. Yeah, if possible to play all.
Obviously.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
If I have to pick, yeah, Fischer, Tall, and maybe Alakain.
Alakain. All right. Pragg, amongst the few other young chess prodigies, whom do you find the most challenging?
I didn't really play them recently, so any of them. So I
see.
It's not about challenge, I guess. It's about yeah, when you play, it's just a challenge, I think. But I haven't played any of them recently.
I see. So, RB sir, how can kids learn chess from you?
From me? I'm teaching in HobSpace, so they can learn through HobSpace.
So that was the end of the rapid fire. Thank you so much for that. Pragg, just a last question. So many young kids are now looking up to you. What would be your advice to your friends at HobSpace who are watching this right now?
I guess the three advice which I gave earlier would be the same, I guess.
Maybe you can add a few more things. Like you said, there are many qualities a good chess player needs, no?
Yeah, the thing is also the willingness to learn. It's not about just the results. I think that's quite important. Not really try to win in every game, which is actually, I think it's not possible. And also not to get too upset after losing and try to go over the game, try to analyze and see what mistakes you made.
Right.
Yeah, just being objective.
Right. Pragg, do you ever plan or think about breaking the highest ELO rating ever and like getting to 2900 probably? How practical is that? This question is for both of you, RB Ramesh sir and Pragg. First, starting with Pragg, do you see yourself doing that someday in the future? 2900?
Yeah, once in an interview I said I want to break 3000, which is, I guess, it's not. I don't think it's possible. Yeah, because
but like 2900.
Yeah, 2900 is, I guess, possible. Like I think Magnus can break it now. In at least a year. I think it's possible. For me, if I can, put my best effort every day and train harder and play my best in every game. I think it's possible.
Definitely. I mean, Pragg, you're just 16 now. That just gives me so much inspiration and kind of goosebumps that you're talking about 3,000 and 2,100 seems achievable to you.
Yeah, 3,000 is probably
fascinating.
too much.
Yes. So RB Ramesh, sir, what do you have to say about it? Pragg said like 3,000 is kind of impossible. And then when I asked 2,900, he casually, kind of said like, I mean, in an inspiring way, it's very...
Yeah. So when he was young, he mentioned he wanted to become 3,000, but now he says it is not possible. I think the reason is there are no players above 2,900, no player above 28, 25 even. So if you have many higher rated players, and it is possible to beat them and increase your rating. But we don't have anyone other than Magnus, even above 28, 25. So probably even 2,800. Almost everyone has dropped below 2,800.
Yes.
So since the level of the opposition from this angle, from the rating angle, is not very high, it is currently it is probably not possible to make it to 23,000. But as Pragg said, if you are working extremely hard, and I believe in another 5 years or so, 10 years, we'll have more players rated over 28, 25. There'll be like at least 10 players above 28, 25, which is very likely. So when that happens, it will be easier to cross 2,900 compared to now. In that sense, it could be easier, but that would require total dedication and extreme hard work. And I believe Pragg is already doing that.
Yes. Like he's already making the nation so much proud, and if he ever gets to 2,900, like that will be like the peak, at least for the viewers and the followers and fans of Pragg. So with this, I would like to thank both of you, Pragg and RB Ramesh sir. A big thank you to both of you to find time for having a conversation with us. It was really amazing and very insightful. The team HobSpace wishes you both good luck for the Chess Olympiad 2022. And we are confident that we will top the charts this year with players like you, Pragg, and of course, our super coach, Ramesh sir. Thank you everyone for tuning in this interview. This is your host, Gaurav Singh, signing off now. And don't forget to sign up for more interesting events from the world of chess, only at HobSpace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.